Sure, I'll watch Boku no Pico. When pigs fly. Huh. I'm still not watching it.
Quand nous chanterons le temps des cerises, chifflera bien mieux le merle.
Hey guys, the Black Critic Guy back with another video for Studio Ghibli month. And today we'll be reviewing Porco Rosso. And joining me this time is special guest Bryn from BRYN'S Fandoms. What's up, Bryn?
There we go. Hello everyone, my name is Bryn and I am from BRYN'S Fandoms. That is my channel name and I'm very excited, very honored to be invited to Black Critic Guy's channel to do a collaboration on Porco Rosso for his Studio Ghibli month.
So Porco Rosso follows Marco Pigott, also known as Porco Rosso, the Red Pig, who's a bounty hunter that hunts air pirates, and one day an American pilot named Curtis successfully shoots Porco out of the sky, leaving him without a plane. So Porco travels to Milan even though he's wanted by the Italian government, so he goes there risking his life. He gets his plane fixed by a young woman named Fio, and he sets back out to settle the score. Now, I failed to mention this in my Only Yesterday review, but this week's string of reviews are tapping into the more obscure films made by Studio Ghibli. Only Yesterday, Porco Rosso, Ocean Waves, Poco, Whispers of the Heart. Most of these films are relatively unknown outside of Japan. And of those 5 aforementioned films, Porco Rosso is the one I found the most intriguing, and I was really looking forward to seeing it. It's the only Hayao Miyazaki film I had yet to see. I hadn't seen it until now, and I must say, damn it, Miyazaki, you've done it again. How did you go and take such a bizarre concept and make it such a fun, thrilling, and engaging film? Like, seriously, this guy just has such a great talent at making anything enjoyable. Now, after looking over Bryn's part of the review, I noticed that we shared a lot of the same opinions about Porco Rosso. So to save us some time and to prevent us from repeating each other, I'm gonna let Bryn take the reins in this review, and I'll interject here and there if I feel like there's something I can add. So take it away, Bryn.
First thing I love about Porco Rosso in general is because it's very different from typical Studio Ghibli films. Usually Studio Ghibli films have a strong young female lead. Not only that, usually they're very whimsical, there's a lot of fantasy, it kind of feels magical. But Porco Rosso is very different in the fact that it has a strict geographical and historical timeline. This is set in the 30s. This is surrounding the Great Depression, World War I, World War II, that era. There are regular men in this show, regular pilots. You know, there is a strict setting in this one, and usually Studio Ghibli films do not have that. So watching it, I was a little bit hesitant to know how they would handle that, but I absolutely loved it. I think they did a really, really good job at staying true to the setting and the era, but in Studio Ghibli fashion, still remained very whimsical. Still had that fantasy. It still got me excited. I mean, this whole story is a story of Porco and his adventure. He has this freedom of flight. You know, it kind of romanticizes, you know, airplane and flight, and I just really, really like that about it because it still remained a Studio Ghibli film, very romantic and magical, but still staying true to this historical setting and timeline. I also loved that Porco is very unique character. Like I mentioned, usually Studio Ghibli films have a young female role. Porco is not. He is not only a pig, he is an adult male who is an anti-fascist and a pilot and a bounty hunter. Those are some pretty unique things about Porco Rosso, and it still remains very unique. And so he takes this character of Porco, kind of being gruff and tough and, you know, a little abrasive at times, but still it's very fun. He has this adventure, this freedom because of his attitude of, you know, I don't care about people, things, you know, I'm a great pilot, I can do what I want. He still makes it fun. He still makes his character have depth and meaning. I mean, He has a troubled past. That's totally understandable, watching his friends pass away in World War I. But he still grows because of, characters that come later on. But I liked Porco because he's a pig. That is a pretty funny concept, and the fact that they took that concept of when pigs fly, this is legitimately a film about pigs flying a plane. That's pretty funny, and that's pretty hilarious.
I too really enjoyed Porco. He's such a dynamic, fascinating, and unique character that's rich with character development. I thought it was gonna be like the stoic hero that comes in and saves the day and kind of grows a heart for like the female lead, like, oh yeah, I'm changing my ways for her. But no, the character had a lot of complexity to him, and I love the depth that Miyazaki gave this character. Although I do have one glaring issue with the character that I'll bring up later on. Back to Bryn.
Another character I really liked was Gina. Briefly talking about her, then getting on to Fio. The two females in this show, of course, were no exception that they were great and lovely characters. I really liked Gina because she still had feelings for Porco and was not like, I'm gonna wait for you forever. She still lived her life. She still had her own things to work with. She, managing the island, basically working at the bar there. But she adds this romance aspect to this film, and just waiting, I just wanted to see them get together, and that's one thing that I really just want to know. I wish that it was explained and shown a little bit more if they actually end up together, because even though he's a pig and she's a human, it's still a really, really cute love story. And just knowing that they have had history in the past together. Porco was obviously a pig and is moving on, quote, quote, but there's still this underlying, are they gonna get together? Are they meant to be for one another? So I liked Gina in the show because she's still strong, but yet still remains in her own little world and is, works at her bar, but is a strong character.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you on this one, Bryn. I loved that they kept the ending of the film ambiguous, a mystery as to whether or not Porco and Gina actually ended up together. Maybe they just remained friends and she remained longing for Porco's embrace forever and ever, and he ended up with another woman. Maybe he ended up with Fio. I mean, throughout the film, you see them establishing a connection. They had a really good bond. They had great banter. They really connected. Maybe he finally realized that he did find someone that he actually cared for, actually loved, and it wasn't Gina, it was Fio. I mean, yeah, they kind of hint that he kind of had feelings for Gina, but it's not really explicitly shown, and nor is it shown throughout the entire film. But, I mean, I like the fact that you don't know who he ends up with. You don't know whether or not he ends up with Fio or he ends up with Gina. It's completely ambiguous and up to the audience's interpretations based on what they saw in the film.
Fio is another character that I absolutely love. She is the typical, strong, young female, usually that would be the lead in other shows, however, is a supporting character in Porco Rosso, but I love her. She is smart, she's capable, and even though she's an engineer in like a man's job, she still is very feminine. She's a little tomboyish, but she's still a feminine. She's still a girl, and she's not like, I'm gonna be a boy, this and this and this, like I'm tough. She just is tough without expressing all this masculinity about her. She's feminine and she's strong and just smart and capable. I love that about Fio. And I also love that she changes Porco in her own way, right? Like, she's obviously central to Porco's development and changing his views on the world, so to speak.
For my money, Fio is arguably the best character in this film. Just like the Air Pirates, I fell head over heels for this aspiring engineer. With her headstrong, determined personality, her charm and likability, I mean, she's such an awesome character. And I think what I loved most about her is that even though she is a woman in this era and they do kind of judge her because she's a woman, she doesn't like start whining about it, like, oh, you don't think I can do this job because I'm a woman? Well, screw you, buddy, I'll show you. No, what she does is she says, oh, so you're just shocked that a woman is designing your plane. Well, here, let me prove to you that I could go toe-to-toe with the best of them, and she does it in flying colors. I love that about her. She easily could have just been whining throughout the entire film about, you just judge me because I'm a woman, wah. No, she actually puts her money where her mouth is. She shows them through her actions and other words her worth, and I love that about the character. And not only that, I loved her relationship with Porco. They had such great chemistry and some of the best banter in the entire film. I felt like out of every character in this film, these two connected the best. I love their relationship, and as I kind of stated earlier, I kind of wish that they ended up together. You know, finding out at the end of the film, like, well, instead of Gina, he chose me. I would have loved that. That would have been interesting and honestly a huge twist.
Another thing that was great about Porco Rosso is the animation. I mean, Studio Ghibli films, it's kind of a given that they're gonna have great animation, but for this show coming out, or movie coming out in 1992, it still holds up to some great animation, particularly in the dog fights. Man, that is really, really good. The animators had understanding of the weight that planes have, and when they're soaring and doing their maneuvers and rolls and things like that, they look realistic. And even though they are not real planes, they have a, fantasy aspect. They're kind of not built like normal functioning planes that we would see today, but they still remain very cool looking and very functional. And watching them turn and twist and, battle one another and explode and parts fall off, I mean, they took some real time and energy and effort into animating those kind of things, and they make them look still really quite good to this day. Some of my favorite shots were simply just looking down on the plane, a bird's eye view of the ocean and the plane. The water was even beautiful. The hills, the rolling hillsides, the European landscape, the island was beautiful. It just looked very beautiful, and the colors were vibrant. I mean, I just can't praise it enough. For its time in 1992, it was really well done, and it still is a really beautiful, beautiful show. And it adds to that, magical, whimsical aspect of the show.
And the last thing that I loved about this film was its third act. Oh my goodness. That was without question one of the most enthralling and hilarious third acts to a film I've seen in quite some time. I could not take my eyes away from the screen. That's how much I was enjoying it. They built this climax up big time, and they gave us everything we could possibly ask for and more. In fact, the climax even takes a very interesting twist where you think it's gonna end this way, but then it ends in one of the most manliest of manliest ways possible that just had me rolling on the floor. I could not believe what I was watching. I'm like, this is definitely the 1930s right here.
My only two negatives for this show, very slight negatives for this show, is on a personal level. I personally just wanted to know whether Gina and Porco got together in the end. I mean, Fio in her narrative at the end keeps it a secret, but do they end up together? Are they? They probably should, because I think that is a great little love story there and they need to be together. But that's just a personal level that I just wanted to know personally.
Okay, now it's my turn to address some of the issues I have with this film. And the biggest issue I had with Porco Rosso actually has nothing to do with the original Porco Rosso or even anything that Studio Ghibli did. It's what Disney did in their freaking dub. My goodness, if you thought the dub for Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind was bad, prepare yourselves, ladies and gentlemen. The dub here, it's worse. It's worse, with a couple standout performances here and there. Like, I thought Susan Egan, who voiced Gina in this film, perfect. Like, she has the voice of an angel when she voiced Meg and voiced that one woman in Spirited Away. She's fantastic. I wish she did more voice work. I haven't heard much from her, but Susan Egan, you did great. You were solid. But it doesn't help to counteract the terribleness of the voice acting done by Michael Keaton as Porco Rosso. He voices the main character, yet he sounds so bland and stoic. I put no emphasis, no inflection, no effort into this performance. I talk like this throughout the entire film, even though I should sound more energetic or at least more lively. I'm just gonna talk like this. Second only to Carrie Elwes's American accent. That sounded like a caricature of a caricature of a caricature of a caricature of an American accent. Like, Carrie Elwes, I like you, man. I really do. You were great as Dr. Gordon in Saw, and you were great in The Princess Bride and all, but dude, never ever do any voice work ever again. It's not your forte, and don't you dare try to do another American accent. For the love of Jeebus, I don't want to hear that again, please. Overall, I give this dub a D-. It's so atrocious. If you're gonna watch this film, just do yourself a favor, watch the original Japanese version. You probably might enjoy that more than the English because, oh, it's bad.
Another little slight negative that I had was just his transformation of a pig. It wasn't really described how he turned into a pig. It's kind of understood why he turned into a pig because of his selfish kind of curse outward a manifestation of his inward feelings, essentially, is why he got turned into a pig. But like, how did that happen? I wanted to see him transforming into a pig, and like, no, maybe see him as he was before he got turned into a pig. I mean, we still got a little backstory, understanding that he was a pilot, blah, blah, blah. But that's just, I wanted to actually see his transformation of the pig building up to the point that when we are in now in 1930s Depression era. Those are my only two slight negatives that I have, but this show is definitely, I agree, not your typical Studio Ghibli Miyazaki film in the fact that you have a historical setting, but they did it really, really well. And I think overall, this show is definitely underrated, underappreciated, because it's not your typical Studio Ghibli show that you would see, but I really, really enjoyed it. I think they excelled in the animation. The characters were great, standout animation, dogfights. Oh, those dogfights were so, so good. But those are my thoughts about Porco Rosso, and I hope you guys really enjoyed it.
But you know what, guys? Even with those small, minute issues, I overall adored watching Porco Rosso. More than I thought I would. I am genuinely surprised at how into the film I was. It has such a charm and flair that made it so irresistible. I was so invested and engaged into everything that was happening in the film. It's well constructed, well animated, characters are so interesting and likable. I mean, it just has the Studio Ghibli magic written all over it. And I'm gonna give it a 4.5 out of 5 stars. It's definitely one hell of an anime film. And honestly, this is the only Studio Ghibli film I've seen thus far that I'm really, really hoping that they make a sequel to. I mean, Hayao Miyazaki kind of hinted at the fact that he wanted to make a sequel, yet he kind of left Studio Ghibli, so we don't know if he'll ever make it. But please Miyazaki, come back and just make the Porco Rosso sequel. Please, I really want to see it. I want to see more adventures with this pig. He's just so damn fun.
So thank you, Black Critic Guy, Tony, for letting me onto your channel and inviting me to the Studio Ghibli month. I really appreciate it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this little review of Porco Rosso as well. And thank you once again for having me here, and I'll see you later. Bye.
But as always, guys, we're not the end-all be-all opinion when it comes to Porco Rosso. We would love to know what you guys thought about the film as well. Did you absolutely adore it? Do you think it has some of the coolest flight sequences in any film? Is it your favorite Studio Ghibli film? Or is it really boring, dull, you couldn't get into it? Now let me know, what is the coolest air battle you've ever seen in a film? Live action or animated? Comment below, let me know. And I want to take this time to personally thank Bryn from BRYN'S Fandoms for joining me in this review. Thank you so much. You have such a sweet and lovely personality, and I had so much fun editing your video. You have no idea. Please go check out her channel. And stay tuned, more Studio Ghibli videos on their way. You're gonna be getting a Let's Watch Something later on tonight, and then the BCG mail tomorrow night. It's, oh my gosh, so much to do still. And also, you're probably gonna get another Studio Ghibli review coming out later on today, since, yesterday was the election day. I didn't release one, so I gotta stick to my schedule. Just, oh, my head's hurting. But hey, the election is over, right? Whew, thank God for that. So, if you'd like to donate just a smidge more, help support the Black Critic Guy, why not donate to my Patreon account? Link is in the description. And if you'd like to send me any fan letters, why not send it to this P.O. box right up here. And as always, guys, if you would like to see more videos on this channel, be a part of the Black Critic crew, not miss out on a single Studio Ghibli video, hit that subscribe button below, like this video if you really enjoyed it, and I'm Tony Watt II, taking off in the high skies as the Black Critic Guy. Till then, Peace, YouTube.